Do you have a craze for things sweet, flavorful, and unique, but also whole and organic? Well, meet the Everything Nice Spice Cake. Hello, I'm Caitlin Vincent.
I'm Paula Ajiri.
And I'm Eliana Shulman.
Research from the MayoClinic.org says that a growing body of evidence that shows potential health benefits of organic foods when compared with conventionally grown foods. These benefits include moderate increases in nutrient in organic produce, higher levels of omega-3 fatty acids, and lower deductible levels of pesticide residue.
Going into the project, some of our concerns were that many people are unaware of how their unhealthy eating habits can negatively impact their health. When modifying our recipe, we made the decision to substitute the bland inorganic ingredients for lively and pure ones. We did this to stay nutritionally conscious.
Our goal is to make a rich spice cake, which only includes whole and organic ingredients, and to encourage healthy eating habits even in desserts, because bad eating habits are large contributors to an unhealthy lifestyle problem. Unhealthy eating habits can also lead to a variety of health conditions that can be avoided by making an active effort to purchase products with whole ingredients.
While researching for recipes, we came across the Larkin Housewives Cookbook from 1915.
We decided to make a spice cake because it was a very unique recipe, and my teammates and I had never seen anything like it before. We also felt that it had a lot of potential and could be an amazing yet unique dessert if a few changes were made.
Our first step was to form a plan, which states:
From November 2020 to January 2021, Caitlin Vincent, Eliana Shulman, and I, Paula Ajiri, at Hillsborough High School will collaborate as a team in order to research and create the best recipe, presentation, and evaluation possible. We will use our baking and project experience to put together the presentation to the best of our abilities. The main purpose of the project is to make others aware of the dangers of an unhealthy lifestyle and to prove that you can make an outstanding flavorful dessert while keeping the ingredients whole and organic. We also will work together with our FCCLA supervisor to provide all the resources needed to complete with the project.
For the product testing method, we did a total of 3 formulation tests. The first test consisted of 9 evaluators and the second and third of 10. Our evaluators are made up of our peers, teachers, and faculty members of all age ranges from our school. Our method of evaluation was a survey that questions the texture, sweetness, and moisture of the recipe, as well as 2 additional questions that give our evaluators the chance to give feedback or suggestions. This is an example of one of our surveys.
For the first formula testing, we tested the original recipe with a cream cheese frosting from a 1940s craft cookbook. For this recipe, we followed the original instructions exactly, modifying nothing. Our recipe can be found here. In the book, it does not specify which type of flour to use, so we went with all-purpose because it was the most traditional.
The original frosting ingredients can be found here. In a large bowl, we combined all these ingredients until it was smooth and slided it over the cake once it was cool.
With the first formula, most of our feedback we got was saying that our cake was very dense and dry. As far as the frosting, almost everyone really liked it, and they said that the sweet cinnamon complemented the cake.
One example of the negative feedback we got was from Miche Thomas King, who said that the cake needed more spice. An example of positive feedback we got was from Avi Garcia, age 15, who said that the frosting was very good.
For our second formula testing, we tested a recipe with our first set of modifications. We kept some of the elements the same, except we reduced the amount of molasses to half a cup and the amount of flour to 3 cups. We also increased the amount of spice by adding half a teaspoon more of each spice. However, 2 of our biggest changes were that we substituted the 1 cup lard for butter, which translated to 1 1/4 cup butter. We also added 2 eggs to our new recipe. As far as structural differences, we made a 2-layer cake to add more structure, but also more frosting. Our hopes for this recipe was the cake would be more flavorful, fluffy, and moist.
On the second batch of frosting, we kept the original recipe, except we added 1 teaspoon of milk, 3 ounces of butter, and a pinch of salt. All these changes were made in an effort to make the frosting a little creamier, and a pinch of salt was there to balance the flavor.
The surveys for our second test came back really good. People had way better things to say about our new cake. For example, Alexandria Flores, in her 30s, said that the amount of spice was just right. However, some people still felt that the cake was a bit dry. Jasmine Candy, age 14, so that the cake could still use a little more moisture and sweetness.
For our third and final round of formula testing, our goals were to make the spice cake sweeter, fluffier, and more balanced. For the frosting, we wanted to make a bigger batch and reduce the amount of sweetness a little bit.
To accomplish this for the cake, we changed our flour to cake flour in order to get a lighter, fluffier product. We also added 1/3 cup to the 1 cup of sugar we already had. To balance the flavor more, we decided to use unsalted butter in this recipe and add 1/2 teaspoon of salt on our own. This gave us more control of the salt in the cake, resulting in the flavors being balanced.
For the frosting, we used 4 ounces of cream cheese instead of 3 to make sure that the butter was not overpowering the cream cheese flavor. We also did this to make a bigger batch of frosting. In addition to the extra ounce of cream cheese, we also changed the powdered sugar from 2 cups to 1 1/3 cup. That way, the cake and the frosting would balance each other out in terms of sweetness.
The feedback we got on this round came back all positive. Everybody thought that the flavor of the cake was very great and that the cake's moisture and texture was on point. Kylie Smith, age 18, said that it was the right amount of sweetness, moisture, and the spice level was prevalent.
On our process storyboard, we had a variety of our photos displaying the status of our product. In these photos, all of our frosting and cake ingredients are laid out and measured, ready to be combined. This displays our use of the baking concept "mise en place," a French term for having all our ingredients in place.
This photo displays our cake from the first bake, about to be served. This photo shows some of our evaluators testing our cake from the second round of testing.
This photo shows our cake in the third stage of testing, about to be put in the oven. This photo displays out the final cake from the second stage of testing. Finally, this photo shows me and my teammates and I holding our final cake from the third stage of testing.
Going back to the focus of our product, we decided to keep all of our ingredients whole and organic. A few examples of how we did this is we used cake flour, the cake flour used for this recipe. We purchased King Arthur cake flour, which is unbleached and non-GMO. We also used organic cage-free eggs as well as raw unfiltered apple cider vinegar.
This is our packaging. It is made up of recycled cardboard and paper because we wanted to make our packaging practical and eco-friendly. We made the box pink to make it stand out from other cake boxes because those are typically neutral colors. Our box is 18 by 14 centimeters and square shaped to make shipping and storing easy. This is our brand name, which is Classical Cakes, and this is our logo.
This is the side of our box, where our consumption instructions, additional adjectives, and allergy warning and nutrition label can be found. Some important information: there are 13 servings in one package, 395 calories per serving, and 171 calories from fat. The box has a net weight of 53.72 ounces, including our cake mix.
Here's our equipment list, the safety and sanitation precautions, and our product summary. Our main target was children and teenagers because most young people enjoy sweet desserts. However, our product is not the standard sugary snacks for kids because it utilizes whole and organic ingredients. In other words, our cake and brand is nutritionally conscious.
For the pricing, it costs $2.52 to make this product. The cost of one serving is 19 cents and the retail price is $3.50. This gives us a 98-cent profit with a 28% gross margin.
The last step in the FCCLA planning process states, overall, our project was a success. After 3 stages of testing, our final product lived up to be what we envisioned it to be. At each stage, our cake improved as we integrated the ideas of our taste testers and tried new things. Through research and testing, our cake improved tremendously. While working on our project, we learned about the product testing and marketing methods of real brands. Another thing we learned about was the quality of ingredients in many in-store cake brands. We did not realize how much processed, dried, and artificial ingredients are in a lot of cake. And while we realized that some of those ingredients are for preservative purposes, some are unnecessary. This is why when making our cake, we decided to keep all the ingredients whole and organic.
Throughout this process, one of the biggest challenges for us was time management Between school, sports, and this project, we had to learn to collaborate as a team and push our limits to come through with the final product that reflected our abilities and dedication.
Finally, one skill we built upon as a team was ingredient awareness. After this project, we realized that it's not so easy to put good ingredients into products, but it's worth it in the long run. This new skill is good for everyday life, and being aware of ingredients is a stepping stone for healthy eating habits.
Thank you for listening.